One of the fun parts of digital marketing is that if you test a market accurately, it will tell you everything you need to know to succeed. And one of the best tools that we use is called an A-B split test. It's called A and B because we're going to give the market different options. We don't have to have just two. It could be A, B, C, D, as we're going to do in this assignment. But the key is we're going to give them different options. Those options in this case are going to be Maslow test messages, but it could just as easily be two web pages or two different things that you wanted to test. And what we're going to do is we're going to present them to the market and then allow the market to tell us which one it prefers. And so to do that, we need to do a 4-step process. The first thing we have to do is develop our test plan and our test grid. And you've been doing that with the Excel spreadsheet. Then what we need to do is to get some tracking URLs that allow us to measure performance. In other words, every time a person clicks on a message in this case or anything else we're testing, it'll report back to us so we can analyze which one is the most effective. Then what we're going to do is we'll execute the program according to our plan to give the market a chance to respond. And then what we'll do is we'll analyze the results in step 4. So let's get started. In step 1, what we need to do is to develop a test plan and a test grid. The test plan is what do we want to test? If we're creating web pages, we'll want to create them. In this case, we are going to do 4 different messages based on Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Now, a couple tips, and I'll show you an example here in a second, is that you want to put in a lot of hashtags. Hashtags is how communities hang together. It's what people search for on a site like Twitter. And so we want to make sure we have really good hashtags in there. And if you want, you can put in the name of an influencer or two. But be careful with that because you put in too many, they'll get upset with you. So I tend not to do it in my initial message testing, but then do it later when I want to roll out the message. Then what we're going to do is we're going to tweet it out to our different markets. And to do that, we'll get a link that will allow us to track the article and go from there. So what we want to do is we want to first build out the test grid and build out the test messages in this case that we want to use. For this example, what we're going to be using is an article that was made by one of my students on digital detox, or helping a user, hyperconnected consumers, unplug from the internet. And so what we've done is we've created the article, and you can see it here. And then if I go to the actual editor, it'll give me what's called a permalink, but the permalink is also up here in the title. This is the actual location of that particular blog article. And that's what we're going to be testing. We're going to see what messages will bring people in the greatest quantity to this particular blog article that we've created. To do that, I've gone out and we've created 4 different messages using Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And if you look at them, I've done them here in red. There's a couple things you want to note. First off, because Twitter has increased the amount or the number of digits it can handle, we can put in a little bit longer messages. And so this is on digital detox. And you'll notice when I do hashtags, I'm going to do digital detox as one word, but I'm also going to do it as digital detox as 2 words. I'm going to do digital marketing, and I'm going to put in a lot of variations of hashtags that I think that my target market will use to get to this. And what I wanted to do is that the first couple sentences are really the Maslow targeting. So digital detox is the newest digital strategies companies use to engage customers. Learn digital detox and how it fits your digital marketing strategy by reading my blog at, you notice I sometimes use the at symbol, but each one is blank. Then after that, I have a series of the same hashtags that I'm using for every one of the groups. And at the end, I have my at handle. You don't have to do that, but I just put it in there to show you. And so now I have 4 different messages, each emphasizing a Maslow level that are talking about digital detox. And what I want to do is I want to take those 4 messages and test them in this test grid where I have different periods of time. And so what I'm going to have to do is my first step before I get to actually building out my test, I've got to get some trackable links so that I can tell if message 1 is better than message 2, which is better than message 3 and 4, and so forth. Which one of these is going to work within the Maslow hierarchy of needs? Which one's really grabbing my prospects and bringing them to, in this case, my blog page? So that's our objective, which we'll do now in step 2.